So, a bit of context before we get started. I've spent years making films, taking photos and capturing moments and putting them out into the world. I've worked as a photographer. I've worked on many startups and brands, and I've recently started building my own company, as well as making films from scratch. For years, I was embarrassed. I hesitated to take the leap, held back by the weight of one question: what will people think of me? I've recently taken a deep dive into how we can best get past this mindset, and I want to share it with you. So, if you feel that way too, this video may be for you. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you feel like an outsider, maybe you have this burning idea, this thing you know you need to do, but something stops you. I want to give you a formula to create freely, to step into yourself fully, and to silence all the noise. The real deep self, that which you really are, fundamentally and forever, is the whole of being. That's a quote from Alan Watts. You think you are a self-contained thing, a fixed idea, a person that others have defined, a set of traits, roles, and expectations. But the truth, you're like a wave in the ocean, always moving. Your entire being, goals, or mission can change at the snap of a finger. Your fear, the hesitation that holds you back, only exists because you believe you're something solid, something that can be ruined, something that can fail. But you're not. The moment that you understand this, fear begins to lose its grip. The first step to creating freely, let go of that need to protect yourself. Because the self you think you're protecting, it's just an idea, an image you have of yourself, and it's one that will change whether you fight it or not. To be yourself before the world tells you it's okay is really hard. There's a quote by Emerson that goes, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Now, if you knew Timothée Chalamet before the fame, how would you think of him? There's probably kids from your high school or people who you're around now who are similar. The reason you hesitate is because your brain has been conditioned to think that anyone who breaks the mold is cringe until they've won. Then they become a visionary. So here's a question. What if you could act as if you'd already won? It's a famous saying, but it's true. The people who change the world don't wait for permission. They act as if it has already been granted. What is your core value? Not your goal, not your talent, not your skill set, but the one thing that really defines you. The thing that if you lost it, you wouldn't be able to recognize yourself. For years, I told myself that I was altruistic because I thought I enjoyed helping people. But I realized that wasn't my core. It was a byproduct of something deeper. If you decide to do something because the success sounds amazing, but you can't bear the failure of it, you'll surely quit. To create freely, you have to define this core value for yourself, because without it, you'll always be swayed. You'll create what you think gets attention versus what sets your soul on fire. You'll follow trends instead of setting them. So ask yourself, what do you resonate with most? What do you resonate with most deeply? What is that one thing that's always been there, no matter how much you've changed? Write it down. Make it your signature, and let everything that you create be an extension of it. And most importantly, chase it. Rather than running from what you don't want to be, run towards that core value. There's something that no one tells you about success. The moment that you grip too tightly, that you start to need approval, something is lost. Because art, creativity, expression, they don't come from control. They come from flow. The goal is not to force yourself into something. The goal is to remove everything that stops you from being who you are. So let go. Let go of the need to be impressive. Let go of the need to be understood. And let go of the fear of looking foolish. And when you do, you'll realize that you were never really holding on to anything at all. The need to be liked is like water. If you try to hold on to water, you'll only lose it. This is the hardest part, because here's the truth. There will be a period where you don't fit in with the people you used to, but you're also not yet at the point where you fit in with this new crowd of people. But that space is where everything is born. It's where you figure out what you actually love instead of what's just acceptable. It's where you restructure that feeling in your gut. It tells you this is too hard, this doesn't make sense, and I might as well give up. The odyssey is not external. It's in learning how to sit in silence, strip away distractions, and create before anyone tells you that it's good. It's trusting yourself enough to build something from nothing. And once you break through, you'll recognize the others that have done the same. Before we go, I want to leave you with the formula that you can start practicing today. Firstly, identify your core value. Write down 3 traits that you think describe you and 3 traits that you love to see in other people, and figure out where they overlap. Write this down and keep it somewhere close. Next is to start to build a routine around your needs. Block off a 10-minute slot per day to go on a walk with no technology, no headphones, no distractions. Read at least 1 page per day, something to reframe your mindset from how social media and technology have taught us to think. Soon it won't feel like a chore, but it will start to feel like something you need. Finally, allow yourself some time alone, with no form of communication, no internet, no social media, to just create something that you would want to see, something entirely for you, and allow that vision to represent you. You'll start to see a huge difference in the type of person you become. Don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for watching.